Hello, welcome to Ministry Moments. This is Bob Gray Sr. And every Friday we have a live broadcast that will be coming your way. Very practical, hopefully, very helpful. And so today I want to talk to you about leadership. About leadership. You see a lot of conferences on leadership, a lot of teaching on leadership. I start my 49th year today in the ministry, and I've learned so much from Dr. Hiles, Dr. Lee Robertson. Lester Roloff was an amazing man. A lot of thought him just as a old country preacher, but boy, heck, guy was sharp. If you've ever read his book on fasting, it sounds like a medical doctor had penned that book. But Dr. Tom Malone, I spent many hours with him, and Dr. Curtis Hudson, one of my favorite personalities. And Dr. John Rice was the intellect. He could have been president. He could have been the head of any major corporation. He was undoubtedly properly named the 20th century's mightiest pen. But I want to, gathering all the different facets of these ministries that were diverse and yet in many ways the same. There were some basic, I remember one time Brother House said to me, he said, "I don't read sermons." I said, "What do you read?" He said, "I read biographies of great men, saved or lost." He said, "I read biographies of great men." And I picked up on that and started reading biographies. Stonewall Jackson is my favorite. Dr. Wendell Evans told me that was his favorite too. I sent him a three, I think it was a 3-volume set on Stonewall Jackson. An amazing man. The first black Sunday school started with him in America. But let me talk to you about leadership. And hopefully you'll be able to make this applicable to you. Leadership. Number one, do everything yourself first. Do everything yourself first. I kind of prided myself in the fact that when I hired somebody, I'd already done it. Uh, the kick came when the computers came in. And man alive, I still struggle with it, but I keep going. I keep going. And but do everything yourself first. And when you do that, be the janitor. When Mrs. Gray and I were up north in our first church, Saturdays in the wintertime, we would go down and put salamander heaters out under the 4 buses that we had to keep them from freezing up. We swept the building. We had good layman, Jack Lewis. Oh, God bless him. Jack Lewis, one-legged man, helped us. But we unplugged the toilets. We put the toilet paper in. We put the paper towels in. We vacuumed, put the songbooks back, and took care of the baptistry and so on. We did all that ourselves at first. When somebody came along and had a heart for it, then I knew I'd already done it. And so do everything yourself at first. You're not going to start out running 1,000 or 10,000. You're going to start like we did running 40. And it's just the way, it's just the nature of it. And you need to learn as you go along. Number one, do everything yourself first. Number 2, start out with volunteers. You might mention in a sermon, or mention in Sunday school that about something that you're doing like that. Don't be afraid to tell them, look, Mrs. Gray and I, or your wife and you, unplugged the toilets and cleaned the building and love doing it. Somebody's going to come up to you and say, "Can I do that?" So you keep an eye out for those volunteers. Number 3, now you say, how do I know who to choose, who not to choose? If they have a heart for it, they'll keep doing it. So after a year, they'll still be doing it. If it's just something that's fly by night and it was an emotional decision they made, okay, it'll show up. Time will reveal that. So number 1, do everything yourself first. Number 2, start out with volunteers. Number 3, meet with them weekly. I met Jack Lewis, God bless him. He was a deacon. I mentioned about he had a wooden leg and sold him one time and knocked on the door, went in, and his family, I think 5, 6 kids. And boy, it was a romper room on steroids. And so I was in the kitchen with Mom and Dad, leading them to Christ. And he had the kids, and he was the silent partner. So he had the kids in the living room. Well, I didn't know what was going on, but I was in the kitchen, and all of a sudden the raucous atmosphere changed. It got real quiet, and so I'm in the kitchen leading a couple to Christ. I walked through and I said, Jack, we can go. And the kids are all sitting there staring at Jack, just staring at him. We got outside. I said, Jack, what'd you do to get their attention? He said, I unscrewed my wooden leg. He said, I held it up and said, they sat there and stared at that leg a whole half hour. I've laughed about that. We had a big day, and we had the deacons see who could kick the football the longest. And Jack probably kicked the football. I mean, he had a wooden leg, and I thought, Jack, you don't have to do that. He said, I want to. And he kicked it, and his leg came off. And so the leg went to the air like that. And the bus kid said, wow, this is the best one we've ever seen. But anyway, do everything yourself first. Number 2, start out with volunteers. Next, meet with them weekly. We're going to keep an eye out for those who have a heart for it. And time will tell. Time will tell. A lot of people may say, look, I want to help the pastor out. And it may work for a month or so. And that's great. Don't get mad at them when they come to you and say, I've got some things I've got to do. Don't do it. This is a process. You're looking for somebody who has a heart for the ministry. So number 1, do everything yourself at first. Number 2, start out with volunteers. Number 3, meet with them weekly. Have it. When you sit down, let them know this is important to you and you want to hear from them. So you meet with them weekly. Number 4, teach them to bring 5 solutions for every problem. They may be over the PA. They may be over the ushers, volunteers now. They may be over cleaning the building, the buses, whatever it might be. Well, when you meet with them weekly, they're going to bring problems to you. Teach them right off the bat, you bring me 5 solutions for every problem. That does several things. First of all, it shows the importance of what they're doing and the importance of what you think about what they're doing. And the truth is, it's their area. You may offer a solution that doesn't make a lick of sense, but they're in the middle of it. So let them give you 5 solutions for every problem. Then you choose from one of their solutions, because obviously it's something they think can be done, is functional, and it can get done. All right, so we're talking about leaders and leadership. Number 1, do everything yourself at first. Pastor, do everything yourself at first. Do it all. Do it all. You don't have 10,000 members to worry about. You got 40 like we had up north. Well, that's good. All right, good. Then you make sure you do everything yourself at first. Number 2, start out with volunteers. Don't be looking to hire people. The world is wrong with us. You're running 100 and you got to have an assistant pastor and a youth pastor and so on and so forth. It's just crazy. Number 1, do everything yourself at first. Bobby Robertson ran 2,000 to 2,500. He had his son that worked for him, took care of the teens, and had a part-time secretary. It can be done. All right, number 1, do everything yourself first. Number 2, start out with volunteers. Number 3, meet with them weekly. Let them know that this is important. You want to hear from them. You want to help them. Next, teach them to bring 5 solutions for every problem. Number 5, time will reveal who has a heart and zeal for the ministry. They may have a heart, but may not have the zeal. What will expose that? Time will. They may come to you a month later and say, preacher, I've got so many things and irons in the fire. I can't cut the lawn. Don't get upset with them. Don't call them quitters. Thank God they gave you a month, but you're keeping your eyes open for somebody who will take that on and say, look, I honestly, I have a heart for this, but I also have a zeal for it. I'm willing to put the time in and work it around my schedule. So number 1, do everything yourself at first. Number 2, start out with volunteers. Number 3, meet with them weekly. Have an appointment with them, meet them weekly. Number 4, teach them to bring 5 solutions for every problem. Number 5, time will reveal who has a heart and zeal for a ministry. It takes about a year before the cream comes to the surface. It really does. All right, number 6. Now, if you're going to hire somebody, you want to hire a maintenance man first. You want to hire somebody that will unplug the toilets, will fix whatever problems are with the commode or whatever the building needs work done on it. You look for somebody that you can hire that's a maintenance man and let them do it. Let them cut the grass. Let them do everything around the building. That's the most important addition you can make. It will free you up where you can keep winning souls and stay out there, but you hire a maintenance man first. All right. Next, number 7, Hire a bookkeeper slash secretary second. Hire a bookkeeper slash secretary second. You want someone who can handle the finances, that that they can answer to you, and you can keep an eye on what's going on. I'll give you a suggestion here. Don't ever let them tell you what the offerings are on Sunday. Man, when I first came to Longview Baptist Temple, I said, I don't want to hear it, because they'd say, well, the offerings are down. The offerings are, I don't want to hear it. We had people saved, we had people baptized. Don't do that to me. I don't want to hear it. I'm supposed to meet at Thursday at 10 o'clock in the morning with the financial secretary, the bookkeeper, and then I'll worry. I'm going to rejoice now. So just don't tell me. But you need to hire, number 6, hire a maintenance man first. If you're going to hire somebody, hire a maintenance man first. Preferably, so a jack of all trades. Change the oil in the buses, grease the buses, cut the grass, keep the buildings up and looking sharp. All right. Next, hire a bookkeeper slash secretary second. Number 8, help them to reach and increase potential. Help them to reach their potential and increase their potential. They can do more. You just need to help them. Now, when you meet with them weekly, they're going to say, this is important to the pastor. This is if you never meet with them, they're going to think that they don't even count as far as leadership at the church is concerned. But they are leaders, and they are needed, and they've got potential, and you can help them increase that potential, reach their potential. Don't stop there, but to increase their potential. I started out with one bookkeeper, and we ended up in that department with 4 ladies. Now, it's just the way that it worked. It's just exactly how it worked. It grew and grew and grew up until we had $5 million coming in a year. Well, when that happens, you can see how it grew. And maintenance grew to where we had 3 maintenance men. The buses, we had 42 routes. Well, no wonder we had to have 3 and 4 bus work maintenance people in the bus barn. And boy, God gave us a great bus barn, 15,000 square feet. Oh, what a blessing that bus barn was. So that's how you can handle all those multiple routes and I think 47 buses we actually owned. We ran 41 or 42. All right, leadership, leaders and leadership. Number 1, do everything yourself first. Get off your lazy duff and get it done. And you don't need to hire people to do what you can do. Get it done. Do it yourself. Number 2, start out with, we first came to Texas out front by Luke 281. They cut the grass just right on the boundary, and the other just like that. I took Brother Winter's son, my son, Bob, and I put him out there with mowers. I said, you cut that wheat field down. And they did. I wanted to make it look sharp out there. So number 1, do everything yourself first. Number 2, start out with volunteers. Meet with them weekly. Teach them to bring 5 solutions for every problem that they have. Next, time will reveal who has the heart and zeal. Not just the heart, but the zeal. Number 6, hire a maintenance man first. All right. Number 2, hire a bookkeeper slash secretary second. In the meantime, you type the letters. In the meantime, you hire somebody, a bookkeeper or somebody to take care of the books. Next, number 8, help them to reach and increase their potential. Whoever these people are that give themselves to you and your ministry, you help them to increase, reach their potential and increase it. Next, choose carefully. The first man that comes in with a tear in his eye about mowing the grass, just pray, dear God, help me to get the right people for their benefit, my benefit. It's God's will for somebody. There's a Kohathite out there somewhere. So I've got to choose carefully. Don't rush. I know pastors that hire talent. They'll hire it, and and they'll see somebody as they travel and say, well, that guy can sing. I'm going to hire that guy. You be very, very choose carefully. Number 10, build a team. Spirit decor. Build a team. You do that by having individual meetings and then team meetings. You got that? These individual weekly meetings are very, very important. But you need to get all of the team together. And that would work on a fall campaign or spring campaign. They may all be volunteers. That's all right. But let's work on the big day. Let's work on the Sunday school campaign. Let's come up with ideas and have a spirit to core, a team. Create a team. That's up to you as the pastor to be able to do that. Now, it may start out, you've got 2 and you, so 3 of you meet. That's okay. Then maybe you get up to 3 and 4. That's fine. All volunteer. That's perfectly fine. But please meet with them individually and meet with them as a team, and have team meetings and individual meetings. All right, let's review. We're talking about leaders and leadership. Number 1, do everything yourself first. Number 2, start out with volunteers. Number 3, meet with them weekly. Once you've got somebody to take care of this and this and this, they're laymen. They have their jobs, but this is something they're doing for the Lord. All right, then you meet with them weekly. Next, teach them to bring 5 solutions for every problem. Don't bring, I can think of problems. I can create problems. You have a problem in your area, in the PA. You come to me with 5 solutions for it. Next, time will reveal who has a heart and zeal. After a year, 12 months, you're going to know pretty much who has a heart and who has a zeal for it. And thank God for these dear people. Number 6, hire a maintenance man first. You got the money, God's blessed you. Okay, all right, good. But you look for a maintenance man first, somebody to mow the grass, somebody to fix the leaky toilets, or somebody to clean the building, somebody to take care of putting the paper towels and putting the psalm books in the rack right side up facing out. So hire a maintenance man first. Next, have a bookkeeper / secretary second. Till then, you type the letters. You make the calls. You take care of things. Next, help them to reach and increase potential. Help them not only to reach their potential, they all have potential, but increase it. Increase it. Next, choose carefully. Choose carefully. Be very, very careful. You may run through 2 or 3 men who want to mow the grass. Well, that's fine. Don't get upset about it. Don't get mad about it. Just realize God's working. So just choose carefully. Next up, that's just the way that it goes. One thing I learned from Brother House, it really helps me. I lost 14 staff members in 1 year. But he had created in me the philosophy and the principle of here's somebody, have somebody behind them. So it was always somebody that was behind them. And we had great young men who stepped up to the plate after these others had left and gone on. It was the will of God for them to go. You say, were you happy about it? No, I wasn't happy about it. But I reconciled it. Let's put it that way. But I was wise enough and listened to Dr. Holland, Dr. Rice, and Dr. Robertson, to where we were too deep in every. That didn't sound right. Too deep. We had a second man behind them ready to step in. Choose carefully. Number 10, build a team individually, and have an individual meeting and team meetings, and then brainstorm. Boy, they've got ideas. And let them give it. Now, I asked Brother House, how many things do you get through that you want in these meetings? And he helped me with my brainstorming. He said about 25%. Well, I didn't like to hear that. But the truth is, after 33 years of pastoring, 49 years of ministry, he's absolutely right. Pastor, that won't work. Well, wait a minute. It was my idea. Doesn't matter. It won't work. And I'll tell you why it won't work. That's what you want to hear. You don't want a bunch of yes men around you. You want leaders around you. God bless you. Thank you for joining us. Ministry Moments, practical, helpful. God will bless you. If we'll do things right, decently and in order, God will bless. No form, no filling. Valley of dry bones. Bones came together, sinew, flesh came together. Then God breathed into them life. So do things decently and in order. And I hope that these ministry moments are a blessing. God bless you. I'll see you next week. Saturday soul winning now. Get with it. Let's win people to Christ, pick them up. And church starts at Sunday school, by the way. So you pick them up for church, which is Sunday school. God bless you. Have a great weekend.